Coming up on AgweekTV, I'll talk about the trade war with Chinese Ambassador Terry Branstad. We'll visit a Western North Dakota business that's finding success in the growing trend of healthy food ingredients. And we'll take you to a Minnesota operation that's implemented regenerative farming. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Rook. There are reports this week the U.S. and China are resuming trade talks later this month. This is good news for farmers who have been hurt by the trade war and want resolution as soon as possible. U.S. Ambassador to China Terry Branstad says Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin has been leading negotiations, but he's not sure how long it will take to get a deal with China.
I can't really predict it. We're continuing to have discussions. I'm trying to keep the leaders in Washington informed and do all that we can, and we've had several meetings and we're going to continue to work on it.
Branstad says it's unfortunate U.S. farmers have been collateral damage, but China has not treated the U.S. fairly for a long time, so the tariffs are warranted.
The trade deficit's gone up and up, so we're trying to get fair and reciprocal trade. We want to double ag exports over the next 5 years.
Branstad isn't sure what it will take for China to finally cut a deal with the U.S., but says intellectual property is a big sticking point. The rulings in two landmark court cases will have a negative impact on popular crop protection products. Monsanto suffered a huge blow last week as a jury awarded a California groundskeeper $289 million, claiming Roundup or glyphosate causes cancer. Bayer shares plunged Monday on the news. The outcome is expected to open the door to additional lawsuits. Monsanto plans to appeal. And after 11 years of lawsuits and delays, the 9th District Court ordered EPA to ban the pesticide chlorpyrifos, known as Lorsban. The judges ruled there was scientific evidence showing its residue on food causes neurodevelopmental damage to children. The Senate passed an amendment to extend the electronic logging device waiver for livestock haulers for a year. This would allow Congress time to make the hours of service requirements more flexible. Livestock groups have lobbied the Department of Transportation to put more common sense into the rules because if time runs out while drivers have a load in transit, it could threaten the safety of the livestock.
We need to make sure that these people can get their product moved safely and in a timely manner. And we don't want our livestock being unloaded at central locations. There's always a risk of spreading disease that way, always a risk of injuring livestock and injuring drivers themselves.
The amendment was included in the appropriations bill that passed the Senate. The measure still needs to pass in the House and Conference Committee. U.S. pork producers face opportunities and challenges, especially from the current trade war. But officials with the National Pork Board say their organization is tackling both. At the North Dakota Pork Convention, National Pork Board CEO Bill Even told producers pork is already the world's most popular meat, so in the face of tariffs, they'll be focusing on traditional and new export markets.
So we're going to be working very closely looking at these other emerging markets with the Foreign Ag Service and the U.S. Meat Export Federation so that we don't put all of our bacon in one basket. We've seen what happens when there's a tariff issue, and it's probably good to make sure that we've got alternative and other diverse markets.
Exports account for 27% of U.S. pork sales. China bought about $1 billion of U.S. pork last year, and Mexico imports about 40% of all U.S. hams. A Western North Dakota food processing company seems to be an island of prosperity in the stormy seas of ag commodity prices. Stone Mill in Richardson is in the whole clean ingredient business. That market has been exploding in recent years, and Stone Mill is growing along with it. Michael Pates visited there recently and learned about their expansion.
Stone Mill produces some of the most popular ingredients in today's healthy eating trends, including organic and non-GMO flaxseed, garbanzo beans, lentils, quinoa, and chia.
But there's so many different foods, we just keep following the trends and try to stay ahead of them.
Ambrose Hoff and his wife Charlotte started processing grain in 1986. They certified organic in 1993 and have grown along with the trend for natural, healthy ingredients. But now they're getting ready to pass the business along to the next generation. Their daughter Deneen is vice president and is helping that growth.
When we built this side of our business or this expansion, it was with growth in mind for many years to come, and hopefully the next generation can also take part in it.
Deneen and her husband Ty are day-to-day managers of a big new processing west campus across from the original. They're not just getting bigger, They're using technology to be more efficient.
It's a pretty neat process that everything is automated now. So when the product comes into our storage bins outside of the plant, everything is computer controlled from that moment. We set everything for the rate of flow that we want to clean the grain at, and from there the computer takes over as far as opening bin gates to the proper amount, and then also fluctuating those gates so that we don't get any bridging in the bin to allow for a consistent product flow throughout the entire plant.
And of course, food has to be clean. The plant has what may be the most sophisticated setup in the country for detecting impurities and avoiding problems like salmonella and E. coli contamination.
Everybody's just concerned about a recall, and so that if we can show that we've done our due diligence to provide them a good product. You know, we haven't had many hits at all and stuff, so it's just another thing that people are asking for because of all the concerns.
Ambrose Hoff is proud to have a healthy and growing healthy food company to pass on for generations to come.
Everybody has to eat every day, and no matter what happens in the economy or economics of the world, food will always be the first thing we'll spend our money on.
In Richardson, North Dakota, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
Mikkel will have more on Stone Mill in the next Ag Week magazine. Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll talk to farmers about yield prospects in Minnesota, and we'll have this week's market analysis.
My name's Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a corn stalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs and the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
Giving farmers access to data from the elevator right in their pocket, helping them make better decisions. No more keeping track of paper scale tickets. Innovation. It's always been a part of the farming culture. Integrating directly with elevators to give growers real-time information, all through a mobile app. Your elevator, powered by Bushel.
When harvest comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. Northstar Ag offers the Lofness GrainLogix Grain Bag Loader to deliver versatile grain storage performance load after load. Lofness's user-friendly grain baggers are easy to load and unload, perfect to get your harvest in the bag. Northstar Ag also sells a variety of Valmar spreaders, the leader in air boom delivery, and is a full-service Meridian hopper bin dealer. Visit NorthstarAg.com to see our complete new and used equipment inventory or give us a call.
AgweekTV, presented by Kaler Farms.
USDA's August supply and demand report came in with higher yields in production than July for corn and soybeans, while U.S. and world ending stocks were down for wheat. USDA projected record corn yields, which put production at 14.59 billion bushels. New crop ending stocks were raised to 1.68 billion bushels. U.S. soybean yield, production, and ending stocks were all raised from July to record levels. And USDA lowered U.S. and world production and ending stocks for wheat due to crop problems in several areas of the globe. USDA projected lower corn yields in Minnesota than a year ago at 191 bushels per acre, down 3 bushel. However, they raised soybean yields. We talked to farmers in the state to find out what they're expecting when the combines roll. The corn yield potential has been pulled down by nitrogen loss and damage from heavy rains and flooding in parts of the state.
The corn crop is really variable. It goes from 0 to not too bad, and so much of our corn is up and down and all yellow.
As a result, producers in those areas are expecting lower yields.
We're probably 30 bushel off what we planned. 210 was kind of the low end of the fields that we planned for production-wise. So, I'm really hopeful for 180, 185 farm averages.
However, it's a tale of two crops with better potential to the north and east with more normal rainfall.
If I will go to the eastern side of the state, though, I think we have a lot that could be easily into that 200 bushel range or bigger.
Meanwhile, USDA is projecting soybean yields in Minnesota at 49 bushels per acre, up 2 bushels from 2017.
And with this warm temps and the moisture we got, I'm hoping that we can be in that 55 to 60 bushel range, which is a very good bean crop for us.
But again, there are wet pockets that will have yields below 2017.
They're going to be down. We usually run around average in the 60s, but we're not going to get that this year because of the drown out and then the spots that didn't come right.
So with the high variability, the jury's still out on statewide yields until the combines roll this fall. Joining us with market analysis is Mark Schultz. We're going to talk about the livestock market. It's kind of a tug of war here because we've had good demand for beef and pork, but we also have these big supplies, especially on the pork side.
Yeah, the pork is the one that's getting hurt the hardest, Michelle, and not only that, it's also getting hurt with the tariffs that are affecting that. So we got the increased supply coming in. It looks like that's not going away anytime soon, so pork production is still going to stay strong all the way to February, April. I don't see anything yet on any type of liquidation taking place in this country.
Let's talk about fourth quarter projections for cattle. What are you looking at for prices? We've been in this very narrow trading range.
We have. We've been in a narrow range. We have been moving up, so we're at some of the better prices we've seen futures-wise dating back to March and February, March time period. So it at least is looking a little bit better. Seasonally time frame, you still got this August to September, then you start to move a little bit more to the upside. A lot of it's going to hinge on whether grain prices move higher. They are moving higher globally. I want to see if they start moving higher in the nationally, and if they do, then I think you could probably keep the weights in the cattle a little bit less. Then I could see the cattle futures maybe in cash cattle sitting in this staying in this probably this 114 on up to maybe 118. I don't think you're going to see a big move to the upside, but I think you slowly but surely see it just do what it's been doing for the last 2 to 3 months.
What about fourth quarter projections for hogs when we're looking at these big numbers?
Well, that's the scary one. The big numbers are there. I think a lot of it may already be getting factored in. There's some pretty wide spreads now on this hog market with the cash still, and the cash has got to find a bottom first. That's the key. If we get something to turn on this NAFTA, then I think the hog market could start seeing maybe where the worst is August, October, and then by the time December rolls around, I wouldn't be surprised if we're back to the upper 50s, maybe low 60s for December hogs.
Thanks so much, Mark Schultz. And for our extended conversation, you can go to agweek.com. Up next on AgweekTV, we'll see how a local elevator is using a new app to make things easier for them and their customers. And we'll have your agri-weather forecast.
If you get right down to it, what's a farmer's job? Well, farmer's job is to feed people. Farmers collectively, our job is to feed the world. At Peterson Farm Seed, we get to have a little bit bigger picture right in our region. We get to help those farmers that we work with increase their productivity, increase the yields that they get on their farms, and as a result, more people can eat.
Field Drainage Inc. has perfected the art of agricultural drainage by helping hundreds of farmers since 1978. We are a second-generation family-owned business for over 35 years. The Field Drainage Inc. team will work closely with you to conduct a thorough analysis of your needs and expectations, provide an estimate that fits your budget, perform all work in a timely and professional manner, and provide continued service after installation. Field Drainage Inc., your trusted drain tile installation company for over 35 years.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Micro Essentials is a premium phosphate product. It's a dry granular product. The main difference with a Micro Essentials type product is you have a homogeneous granule for the nitrogen, the sulfur, the phosphorus, and in this case the zinc is all in one granule. If you ever have a desire or a need to learn more about what does sulfur do within a soybean plant, what does the potassium do for the corn crop, we have microessentials.com. We also have a great resource, cropnutrition.com.
With today's tight margins, farmers and agribusinesses need every tool available to run more efficiently. There's a local company that's making it easier. Bushel is a mobile app that keeps all your important information right at your fingertips. We visited the Reynolds United Co-op elevator to see how the Bushel app is helping them and their customers.
The Bushel app takes a lot of what farmers and elevators used to do on paper and puts it right on their phone.
Your contracts, your scale tickets, your markets, everything's right there in one hand. Quick couple swipes and they got everything. I think we see a lot more people selling at opportune times.
Since the Reynolds United Co-op started using the Bushel app about 6 months ago, Controller Jennifer Skold says they've seen big changes in their business.
More efficient. We're not taking phone calls that some guys will say, how many bushels do I have left on my contract? Well, they can know what contracts they have out there, or they can see what they've prepaid and things like that, where it just makes them more efficient. And when you don't have to spend time trying to gather that information, it makes everybody happy.
Farmers tend to be eager to adopt tech, and Skold says almost all of their members quickly signed up for the Bushel app.
The customers love it. There's not an app out there that we're aware of that has both markets and weather, and then your personal information, your grain information or your agronomy information. There's a variety of apps out there, but not one has all that combined.
Bushel was developed by Fargo tech company Myriad Mobile and launched in 2017. There's no cost to farmers to use the app, and Hegg says the elevator's cost is quickly recovered by more efficient operation. He says employees spend much less time on the phone answering customers' questions, but they don't want to lose their personal relationships.
Just call them to say hi, see how it's going.
In Reynolds, North Dakota, this is Rose Dunn for Ag Week.
Each elevator working with Bushel has their own downloadable app. And now here's John with our agri-weather outlook.
Sometimes the latter part of summer, the end of August, summer just goes out with a blaze of glorious heat. Not this year. It's actually going to be a little bit of a cooler finish to the month of August. Sometimes it goes out with some kind of a horrible drought, a focus of evaporation, or maybe heavy rainfall that just won't seem to end. This year it's going to be more scattered and more spotty. I don't really see this turning into an early start to fall at all. There are plenty of more warm days. Summer's just kind of getting sort of weak the way it's setting up, and it's because of a fairly typical late summer weather pattern. Now, one thing that's hard to see, the jet streams split into two, and they're kind of meandering across the country, and they're all fairly weak. But key to this pattern is a general ridging of higher pressure along the east coast and along the west coast, which brings the warmest weather in the coasts and cooler weather into the middle of the country, which has implications, of course, for agriculture. This week, we're going to get a nice little spell of cool weather through the Dakotas and the Great Lakes. Temps will only be in the 70s for a few days, but the 80s are expected to come back. The only real extreme heat will be along the western regions of the country and way down south. There isn't going to be a lot of excessively hot weather this week or next week. A little bit of warm weather, but no dramatic intrusions of cool weather at all, at least as far as this week goes. Looking ahead to the second week, which will take us up to Labor Day weekend, a brief little cool down, but more warm weather will come back basically about the same. By the end of this, by Labor Day, looks like a fairly flat west to east jet stream pattern. Showers and thunderstorms will be around, but they're going to be kind of hard to predict, mostly in chancy areas. Most of the west will be completely dry this week. As we head toward the weekend, maybe a round of showers and thunder showers setting up, but I don't really see any grand overall precipitation patterns set up, just a few scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
Katota Prairie Lodge presents Farm to Table Dinner August 30th, 2018, a 5-course dinner by Chef Steve Scholes with local beer and special guests from the agriculture community, showcasing the products of area agriculture. With support of Ag Week and Common Ground, join us for the unique dining experience. For more information and reservations, visit cdplodge.com/events.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers 2 solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
The AgweekTV Ag Tech Minute is brought to you by Bushel.
Not just farmers, but agribusinesses also rely on technology to make their jobs easier and operations more successful. In this week's Ag Tech Minute, we'll learn how Scott Steffes relies on technology to increase his auction business.
From a business perspective, we're an auction company and we sell real and personal property at public auction for the most part. And we use technology and we use people to transact business. Technology is a tool and it accentuates the process that we have that's been around forever. Technology allows people to get exposed to auctions that probably wouldn't take the time or do the travel and the distance to come to an event. They can just get on their smartphone and away they go. We use a cliche in the world that we live in, that is the death of distance. And with technology, distance isn't nearly as meaningful as it used to be. And so it's not uncommon for people in foreign countries even to participate at our auctions here in the Red River Valley or wherever we conduct them. It can be a neighbor that wants to bid on a combine that's 5 miles away. It can also be a bidder in the UK that has an interest in steam engines. Change is inevitable in any industry, and especially in the ag world. Farmers, in my opinion, are probably some of the greatest innovators out there. And technology allows us and the people that we do business with, our clients and our customers, to really engage and participate in a process. And we talk about that all the time. You know, auctions are age old, but at the same time, they're cutting edge. It's incredible.
You've likely heard about sustainable farming, but what about regenerative farming? This week we take you to an award-winning Southwest Minnesota operation using this approach to return health and profitability back to their farming business.
Best way I can explain regenerative agriculture is fixing and improving what we have. The big buzzword is sustainability right now, and why do we want to sustain a degraded resource?
With organic matter today at less than half of when this land was native prairie, for Grant and his wife Dawn, sustaining that isn't good enough.
Our goal, and my explanation of it, is to regenerate the soil, increase organic matter, and all the other things that come with it.
To achieve that, Stoney Creek Farm is 100% no-till.
and we use a cover crop during every crop or after every crop. So we've got a live living root in the soil all the time.
Plus, they incorporate livestock into the soil regeneration with high-intensity managed grazing.
And what Dawn and I have found, the fastest way we can fix soil is when we run the cows across it. We can just make earthworm populations explode. We can get the most organic matter return the fastest.
They've also seen an explosion of wildlife and native grass species and a host of other benefits. Grant says regenerative farming is not only lowering their input costs, but is keeping them in business.
We're growing a bushel of corn on less than 0.2 of a pound of bought nitrogen. That's reduction.
The end result is a regeneration of their land and their joy of farming.
I mean, when else can we reduce our inputs, put more money in our pocket, healthy cattle, and wildlife to go with it? It's made it fun for me and Dawn again.
It's one of the country's biggest and best. We'll take you to the Iowa State Fair after this.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Big Boy Toys.
Total Ag Industries is the leader in total control. The future of ceramic nozzle technology is here today with the Total Ag Air Induction Turbo Nozzle, the only ceramic triple spray nozzle on the market. Works with all sprayers for better weed control and wheel tracks. Are you ready for a longer lasting sprayer nozzle? Call 701-636-4524 with a 100 nozzle order. Get free night lights or 10% off your order.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gell and Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota. With new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts, from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Lydell, Tom, or Chris today at Northside Implement or visit our website for our complete equipment listing.
Steffes. We have representatives everywhere. Through North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota, we can find a buyer for what you are selling. We know how to market your farmland or equipment. Give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way.
The Iowa State Fair wraps up this weekend in Des Moines. It's one of the largest ag expositions in the country, featuring open class exhibits, 4-H and FFA livestock shows, and static entries.
I think about the lead up to the fair, and I visited several county fairs this year, and really this is the culmination of all the hard work for so many of our young people, and it's great to see our FFA and 4-H kids in particular down here competing, but God made Iowa for agriculture. The state fair is a celebration of that.
The fair also showcases the state's commodities to the public, from honey to eggs, butter carvings, and even garden produce. More than 1 million people attend every year. Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgweekTV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the AgWeek app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. See you next week.